I'll start with a quick synopsis of our last performance, and really I can be succinct in describing it. You know, I live by a coaching creed, man. If you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win, and that was the case for us in this game. We had several sequences where we had an opportunity where if we gained a yard, it's significant in terms of the development of the outcome of the game, and we were unsuccessful. We had a goal line sequence where we had 4 to 5 shots from at or around the 1. We were unsuccessful. That was catastrophic. And then later in the game, we were at a tie ball game, about 5 minutes left to go. We had a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1 sequence in the Redskin territory. We were unable to get a yard in that sequence as well. And obviously that allowed them to gain possession of the ball and move the ball down the field and kick a go-ahead field goal. If you can't get a yard in our game, you don't deserve to win. That's the nuts and bolts element of football, the physicality element of football. We didn't meet that challenge, and so we have some work to do in that area. The big thing for us is to examine why, to get back in the lab and recapture some of the rhythm that we've had in those situational moments throughout the year. There have been times during the year where we haven't run the ball as fluidly as we like, but even in the midst of those, the situational moments, we've been solid. We weren't in our last performance, and so we got to own that. There are many reasons why, but none of it is relevant, to be honest with you. If you're a legit unit, if you're a unit that has the goods, you can absorb, irregularities in schedule, players, significant players missing and so forth, and still rise up in those moments. And so that's our charge as we prepare for this next game. On the defensive side of the ball, I thought we were less dominant on 3rd downs in the second half, and that's what created the possessions, or the time of possession, if you will, and the subsequent points. I thought the 3rd down and long to start the half, where we had them backed up and they were able to throw a perimeter screen and move the chains, was significant. Not only significant in that drive, which led to a touchdown, but also just significant in terms of keeping us off balance throughout the remainder of the half. We got to have that. We're a group that thrives off of turnovers. We average over 2 turnovers a game defensively. We weren't able to get any in that game, and I thought that had an adverse effect on the outcome of the game as well. So there's a lot of things for us to work on. We got a short period of time. We got another short week this week. We respect that. We got to assess our level of health and who's available to us and put together a good plan. On the injury front, Robert Spillane's got a knee injury that's being evaluated. Don't know about his availability as I sit here. Joe Hayden had a concussion in game, so he'll be in the concussion protocol, and we'll let that protocol be our guide in terms of his availability. Steve Nelson has a chance to be back, man. We anticipate Steve working this week. We got a couple of guys that have missed time because of COVID that probably got an opportunity to come off this week, and James Conner and Marquise Pouncey. So we're excited about rolling our sleeves up and getting back to work, man, having a big AFC road contest versus a really good team. We need that. And so we're going to proceed with our preparations. Now, just quickly outlining Buffalo. When you look at them, you start first with their offense. Quarterback mobility is where you start. Josh Allen is a big-time challenge. He's a big-time challenge because of his throwing abilities. He's a big-time challenge because of his ability to extend plays and to scramble. They have some design quarterback runs utilizing his talents that keep you off balance and really nail down your menu in terms of the ways that you attack them. It adds awesome balance and supplements their running game. He has over 300 yards rushing on the season. That's something to be reckoned with. The acquisition of Stephon Diggs is very evident when you watch tape in terms of what he brings to him. He's over 1,000 yards. He's a down-the-field guy. He's a high-volume catch guy as well, with 90-plus catches. He's supported by Cole Beasley. You can't, center all your attentions on his exploits. Beasley inside is a handful, someone that needs to be reckoned with. But overall, they've got really good balance, and they do a good job of mixing the run and the pass, changing the launch points, and doing things that good offenses do. But it all stems from the talents and the exploits of Josh Allen. I think it starts there for us if we want to minimize what they do offensively. Defensively, man, they're a fundamentally sound group. They come at you from a lot of different places. They're a 4-down group that plays a lot of people, and they got great balance across productivity. Up front, Addison's a nice acquisition from them, for them from Carolina. Coach McDermott has a history in Carolina, so you see that history splattered throughout their roster, if you will. Q Jefferson, local guy, is a big acquisition inside for them. Again, like I mentioned, they play a lot of people up front. Edmonds is the all situations man in the middle. At linebacker, he's a good sideline to sideline tackler. He's good both versus the run and the pass. They got a quality secondary with big time depth. Can't say enough about White at the left cornerback spot, although he does match up from time to time. This is a guy who's been one of the top interceptors since he's been in the league. He's on a tear right now. I think he's got 3 or 4 in the last month. We got to do a good job of minimizing his impact on the game in that way. He was significant last year when we played them in December. Had 2 big interceptions that really were kind of the deciding factor in that game. But he's not alone. They've acquired Josh Norman and others, Levi Wallace at the other corner spot. They got good talent and depth at that spot. But more than anything, it's about us. It's about us licking our wounds. It's about us assessing our player availability and putting a good plan together to highlight that player availability, and then guys going in the stadium and playing. So we're excited about the action element of that, the getting the work element of that. And we got a big week ahead of us.